And welcome to Seasons 9 Race of Winners event. I am Phil Humphreys and commentating with me as always is James Davis.
Hello, good evening.
So exciting night of racing. So as usual, format following from last season. So we've got 5 cars. We've actually got 4 different tracks. So we're using Oulton Park Fosters. That'll be race 1 and race 2. We've got the Caterham and the Ginetta G40 running around there. Then we've got the McGann touring car around Oschersleben, that's the track B. Then we've got the Nissan Skyline SMS version running around Fuji Speedway. And then we'll finish with the final race with the Ford GT running around Bathurst. So 10-minute qualifying, 10 laps on all races as well. I say this every season finale, but looking at the lobby tonight, very, very hard to call. I mean, how are you feeling, James? Any names that are jumping out at you at the moment?
I'm feeling really well, thank you for asking. Well, before we started the stream, I was already looking down the list and just sort of, because I knew this would be the first thing you asked me about tonight. And so, I mean, you've got Jack, you've got Arkinois, Fubby, Pro Fubby. So there's a few there. You know, I think it's going to be. You've also got Holtman, so he's always been strong. So I think it's just how well everyone. The winner's going to be whoever adapts to the changes in the cars and tracks, and the Caterham is not easy. So fair play. It's going to be a difficult first race to keep these cars going straight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean. All the winners are from leagues that were running on Project Cars 1, so Project Cars 2 is a different game. It's still relatively new. People are still getting used to the game. Our season 10 starts on Monday, so as yet leagues haven't sort of started running. It's been a lot of sort of like test events, sort of finding out what works and what doesn't. And people still are really getting to grips with this game. It is completely different from Project Cars 1, but you know. These guys that are all in are in for a reason, and they're in because they're some of the best from the group that run on Project Cars. So definitely, should see some definite good racing tonight there as well. We've just got MJR Fraser on the screen at the moment. Throw the Caterham around this very, very short Oulton Park Fosters track. Should be some very close racing in these first 2 races. 10 laps around Oulton Park Fosters. There's not really a lot of time to get away from the guys behind. Oh, someone just going off there. Oh, a little bit of contact there.
There we go. We don't need that in qualifying, is it? Or is this practice?
No, this is qualifying.
Straight out qualifying, and he's back to the pits.
Not quite sure what happened with that one there. Scooby. There's FLT Holtman.
Who I'm tipping to have a good night if he can show his normal, Clio performance, which was always very, very strong. It's great battles with the likes of RSGen.
Yeah, these kind of cars and this track, I think, suits Holtman's style. Maybe not so much. I mean, we haven't really seen him race these. I mean, these aren't cars that we tend to use for leagues. These are more cars that we use for like special events like this. Slightly more skill level needed to really get the best out of these cars.
Well, they are interesting. I mean, I don't think. I think one of the first sort of events that was being held by. Slightly mad community was the Caterham at Knockhill. I had a few laps. I gave up. I couldn't get through the first corner without spinning out sideways and backwards.
It's one of those cars. I think that you need to put a little bit of time in, and you do need to be very gentle on your throttle and your braking. Otherwise, it just goes to shit, basically, doesn't it? It's one of them you have to put the time in, really. So if you are watching on,
quite a few laps discounted here.
Yeah, I think it's one of them as well. Oulton Park on the game. I mean, we're hoping tonight. We had a little test before with a few drivers that director mode is working. It actually looks like it is. Where I think last time we tried this, James, it was about 5 or 6 that gave times to, and then the rest it wouldn't. So we're hoping that it's going to. On the screen that you've got there, James obviously directing this, so he's choosing what screens is at the bottom. Options, does it say split at all? Say split times or anything?
There you go. hopefully that should come up.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, that puts the names at the bottom. So, no, not that one, not the timings. That split one there, you won't be able to see it. It actually just appears on my screen. So, just shows a bit better who's in first and second. So, Pro Fubby currently leading the way at the moment.
Maybe the viewers want to watch like a spreadsheet of names. It's like, oh, this is possible. I like this. Look at how the numbers are ordered. Oh, it's beautiful. Anyway, back to normality.
So we've got Pro Fubby leading the way. Scooby, who's literally just there's nothing in between them. And then we've got Amigo, who's just under half a second as well. That is absolutely
go quicker on this lap.
So Pro Fubby currently leading.
Times early on, man.
So how the points are going to work, or do need to get a pen and paper. Technology is absolutely booming down at NDR HQ tonight. So it'll be 1 point for pole, and then scored as the leagues are scored as well. So 21st, 21 points for first, 18 points for second, 15 for third, 13 for fourth, and then it reduces by 1 point for every position below that there as well. It does actually look like director mode has been fixed after the recent patch as well. It looks like, apart from who's in 12th at the moment, hasn't put a lap time in, but you know, I think that is an accurate thing. What we got, I have got people who are in the race that are going to confirm the results to me anyway. So even if our what we're seeing here isn't accurate to the person that actually wins tonight is going to bag the prize. And tonight's race of winners is brought to you by Black Art Graphics, and the winner will receive special edition electric print that they're going to do for us as well. I believe it's of a Subaru Impreza rally car from 1995. If you don't know what those guys are, check them out. It's Black Art Graphics. Amazing work. Pro Fubby really pushing it through there. That was a sort of close your eyes and just hope for the best moment, I think, from Pro Fubby's perspective.
With a 1:06, that's rapid.
So yes,
so we've got just over 3 minutes left, and this is Pro Fubby now. See if he can take back pole position. He won't want to. I don't think he'll mind starting at the front of the grid, in the front row, but he'll want that pole just to put a marker down, I think.
Yeah, so
through Lodge and Daly.
Look at that. So Scooby just tried to make head the tail of the split times at the bottom. So it says Jack first, Pro Fubby second. Then for some reason it says fourth Pidgey and then third Scooby. So not quite sure why it's mixed third and fourth around there.
Oh, he's gone back quicker. Look at Whisper.
Oh, this is a real battle between Fubby. So, so Pidgey has just taken first the spot there as well, and there's still
that guy's in my green-looking Caterham.
So there's still 3 minutes to go in this qualifying as well, and plenty of time to get a few more laps in as well. Tyres will be nice and
look at that suspension working.
Yeah, these cars are modelled really nice. To be fair, it's nice to see the suspension and wheels really working as they go over the curbs and the bumps of the track. This is why we've chose Oulton Park Fosters twice. It's for cars like this and the G40, which is coming up next. There's Pidgey going off into the dirt. It just suits these cars really well. We felt that's why we've put it in twice. But all drivers putting in a time. So just currently watching Amiga there at the moment. Who's currently running sixth. So that was a bit of an off moment. Yes. If we could just have a look at the timing board, please, James.
By the magic invested in me. Oh.
So there's your timings at the moment there. So you can see just the gap. I mean, apart from Edu at the last place, there's not really a great deal between any of these guys. Edu's only done 3 laps there as well, we were seeing. So he's got a bit more time left to probably get another 2 or 3 laps in. So here we are. So we're watching Edu at the moment.
Coming into Lodge and then through Daly, really bumpy part of the track, and the up and down this. It's he missed the apex, went wide there and deep.
So will he improve on his time? I imagine we'll see his time improve. It does there as well. He moves up to 10th. So everyone within 5 seconds now of first place, which on this track is, in qualifying it seems a lot, but once the green light, once the lights go out and the race starts, this is going to be a very close race. People are going to have to be very careful
Throw
what they
it
do.
through the corner.
Oh, throwing it over the curbs there. That is going to unsettle the car. And as always, if you're watching on YouTube, give us a comment. Leave us, leave a comment of who you think is going to take the win in this race one, and your overall winner as well. You've got some great names to choose from tonight. I haven't actually put my guess forward yet, I don't think. If I had to choose one,
Local bars.
I don't know. Oh, there's Jack taking top spot again. Actually, a really nice time that he's pulled out. Is that just a sign for me to say Jack and predict it? I'll go with Jack. He was a winner of our Thrustmaster competition a couple of weeks ago.
He's now on the wheel. I'm sure he's sort of got used to it as he just deals with traffic by going back to the pits. That's sound.
So, message on YouTube from Paul Conroy, 50 on Scooby. So I don't know if we could just see so Scooby's currently running in third place at the moment.
What, 50 what? 50 cakes? Oh,
50 pies.
Anyway,
I'll take 50 pies.
No, I'd go 25 pies, 25 cakes. Yeah, a bit of
it depends on the cake. It depends if it's going to be scones. Oh, and there goes your 50 straight away. Whatever 50 you're betting, you've just lost it. Oh, there's more signs going. Absolutely destroying the signs there. Obviously doesn't like the Madness engine, whoever that was, who's just absolutely... Oh, there's someone else going off. I think everyone's now just like, I can't bet my time. Let's just see if I can get crash of the night. Yeah, so there's Scott Before, again, another guy to watch.
Alright, so Jack, well done. Yeah, back to scones, 25 scones. Man, do you think of the amount of cream and jam you need to make them even half tasty?
Well, not everyone has jam and cream because
Why?
I personally don't. I'm not a fan of scones or scones, however you may say them.
I know. So I'm saying that you said it's got to depend on the cake. So why did you pick scones?
Oh, I didn't. I just said if it was scones, I wouldn't be happy. That's it. So just thinking.
I thought you were saying that you were advocating for it. Anyway.
No. So here we go. Can hear the lights go down. Jack sitting at the front there as well. Wheel spin from a lot of cars there as they power down. Everyone trying to find their spot to get through corner one.
Camera glitch.
Jack leading the way at the moment.
Into Cascades. Nice. Ran the inside line really tight there.
And Pidgey just... can you put the splits back up as well, James, just so I can...
Oh, is it taking them off? No worries.
Yeah, it's taking it off. There we go. So slightly better there. So can see Scooby still running in third, Holtman down in fourth there as well. Oh, very close there. See lights glaring from the back. So Holtman getting close up there to Pidgey, letting his presence be known. Very close at the back there. Very bunched up. Holtman defending here, making it difficult for Pidgey to get past. Oh no, sorry, to make Scooby. Oh, so I think that's Scooby going off there. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate for him. He's going to struggle to try and make that place back now. But we've still got Jack leading the way in this race one of our season 9 finale race winners. Pidgey really using the curbs as much as he can there as well.
Dude, that is your saying. You need that on your logo.
On my tombstone. Oh, and Pidgey makes a mistake. Holtman glides past him. Oh, bounces into the side. I mean, damage is turned off tonight, so they don't have to worry too much.
To the back there, unlucky. But Jack already just over a second ahead.
I mean, it does look like Holtman is closing the gap slightly on him here as well.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, back end gets out a little bit there. Holtman nice through Deer's Leap here.
There's a close battle going on as well, just a bit further back for fourth.
So he's got Arkin just behind him and Fraser just in front. Oh, Arkin going wide there. It's going to let the guys behind him close up. Oh, someone going off in the distance there. Not sure who that was. Oh dear, that was just a tiny little bit of a contact. We'll say that politely. But yeah, heavy brake that corner there. Some people not as confident, so will brake slightly heavier. Unfortunately, this closer racing, you will see sometimes a little bit of contact from the guys in front, but didn't gain anything from it. So it was Arkin were there as well.
Gotta get the braking right.
Oh, he drifts it round there.
Not too bad. Didn't lose too much time compared to the two ahead.
So these three will just battle in, which is allowing Fraser in.
I think has made a mistake because he's dropped back a bit. He was a couple of seconds, and now it's all bunched up. That battle for third is going to be really, really epic.
Yeah, Fraser can see these guys behind him. Left and right is, you know, you defend one line, you're going to have another Caterham coming at you from the other. So it's literally just concentrate, get behind, seeing his mirrors there. The free cars.
Get into his eyes and see what it's like being on board.
As you can see just how bouncy these cars are on this track. It actually looks like he's pulled slightly away there.
Yeah, had to really bring it round there. It was in danger of going off, sliding left.
So Arkin is still...
weight transfer it means.
Heavy braking into Lodge there, down into Deer's Leap. Oh, and that's...
the pushing going on there. I picked it up just at the right time. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, these cars, you get the wheels touching. The way the wheels stick out, it can push people off. We always knew these cars would be a challenge. So Jack running nicely at the moment. I'm now watching Scooby, who's currently in 5th. He's got Pidgey just behind him there as well. Pro Fubby just in front of him there in the red and white. So Scooby will be kicking himself for that, going off on lap 1. But I mean, he's made good ground. He's made good ground. He's got, you know, he's gone from last all the way back to 5th. So, you know, shows potential for what he could do for the rest of the evening. I mean, I think everyone's mind is going to be on that GTE race at Bathurst. That's going to be the real test.
Always is.
You know, these guys will have been racing for almost 2 hours then, and then they'll have 10 laps of Bathurst to contend with. So, does you know, you haven't got, normally our races is, you know, normally like an hour qualifying and then 30 lap race. So at least you can sort of get into a rhythm. But tonight it's almost like, probably going to be over 2 hours worth of racing, but different cars, so concentration's got to be on the ball all the time. We see Fraser here running well in 3rd. He's got Pro Fubby just behind him.
Got 2 little pockets of battles going here for 3rd and 4th, 5th.
Yeah, so
it's down to 6th. There's nothing in it between these 4. Jack now 3.5 seconds clear of FRT Holtman. So again, halfway point, we're just through that, and Jack looking very, very strong. And of course, winner of our...
Oh, is Pro Fubby going to be able to do it here? Oh no, Fraser manages to close up just in time there as well. Very good driving for Fraser. He's not cracking to the pressure here, but Pro Fubby is definitely one of those who can put it on. Scooby and Pidgey really battling out there in the background as well.
And camera choice is not the best when you pick it up. It could be anywhere, but battle is close here.
Pidgey has managed to find a way through from Scooby there.
Jack has done a 59, so that's even quicker than qualifying. So that's he's really finding that new wheel works to his advantage.
Yeah,
even
Jack running.
What he was on the pad.
Jack running very, very well tonight. And Pidgey slightly pulling away from Fraser at the moment.
3 leads next year if he's entering. This is an interesting battle now. Jack 4 seconds ahead.
So if we go quiet.
Finish 3rd out of these 4 cars.
So Fraser really making it difficult for Fubby to get past here as well. But if anyone can apply pressure, it's Fubby. Oh, did I just curse Fraser there?
Have a look, has he got the inside line? He has to just fall back a little bit.
Yeah, I think Fraser just had enough to cover the line there as well. Oh, going on 2 wheels, kicks up dust. Could this be Fubby really applying the pressure now? Could we see Fraser break?
Well, I think he will break, otherwise he'll go straight into the wall.
Yeah, it is an idea to definitely break.
Yeah.
But looking at that, it looks like Pidgey and Scooby are catching up to these two as well.
They are. This battle is slowing them down slightly, so Fraser definitely on the defensive, but trying to not make that error, which would ultimately maybe cost him the place or two.
So starting their penultimate lap now of race 1. You know, it doesn't really matter what... I mean, it does matter, but, you know, results in race 1. There's still another 4 races to go in this as well. So, you know, it's still all to play for, but, you know, these points do matter. And these guys will be knowing that it does as well, though. Oh, that's right. Pidgey getting very, very close on that corner there as well. He's obviously much more confident. Attack. Yeah, he's obviously much more confident than the others around there, but he does need to be careful because... You know, he could lock up, could actually work out worse for him. He doesn't want to obviously spoil someone's race as well. You know, he needs to be careful. Stewards can have words with people that can dock points if they feel that maybe someone's being a little too pushy.
Yeah, I see
Scooby's snaking left and right there, trying to find a way through. He's really brought this to Pro Fubby now as Pidgey and Scooby's on it as well.
There from Daly.
Scooby's really got a good line here. I think he's going to hold the line. I know I think he eased off a little bit there. I don't think he's trying anything stupid. I think Scooby might be thinking, right, I can push. Could it end up bad for me? He might just be happy after his start. He might be happy with 6 to take those points and then work on it for the next 4 races.
Yeah. Oh, it's really close.
Oh, Pro Fubby getting a little bit of dirt there. That's Pidgey. Oh, can we go back?
Oh, sorry.
Looks like there was contact there between...
where Jack was? Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately we did miss it, but I don't know if it was contact with Pidgey and Fubby. I don't know. I'm sure Fubby will say something if he feels that his race was impeded. Jack has taken the win. FLT Holtman has taken 2nd. Fraser, well done to him. He takes 3rd. And Pidgey takes 4th, although might be disputed. Like to flash him. Pro Fubby's not flashing his lights.
Has he let him through, or is that just the end?
I mean, he doesn't have to. I mean, obviously, you know, Scooby wasn't involved with that there. As Arkin were not the end to the race that you want. That is going to cost him. Trying to get his car around.
Yeah, well, he'll only be happy that cost him only 1 place, so it would have been a lot worse.
So just going to start making a note of the wins. So Jack got 1st. Oh, I've lost. There we go. Let me just take a screenshot of that.
Could save the replay as well, dude.
So Holtman. I can just leave it up there actually. Holtman. Fraser. Can you just read out the names for me if you can? Fraser.
Yeah. So
Pidgey.
Scoob.
Yeah.
Fubby.
Yeah.
Got McFall.
Yeah.
Got a gamble.
Yeah.
Arkin Watt.
Yeah.
And your Martin.
Yeah.
And your Edu.
So Edu. Not the best race for Edu.
No. Again, best lap wasn't too far off, but difficult car anyway.
Oh, and Amiga as well. It looks like Amiga might have retired to the pits there.
I think so. So
he did say at the start of the race that he was let's just put it politely, his tummy wasn't feeling the best after his tea, so could be that. So Jack lead the way. He's got full points for that race 1, so he's got 22 points. So it's 21 plus the pole bonus there as well. So second car, let's just get Ginetta loaded up.
That's Ginetta GT4, 5, Junior.
So it's the G40 Junior.
Yeah. Oh, this should be fun.
Now, I'm not sure why the Les wasn't in that race either. We should have had another racer in there. I'll just send the invite out. So sorry about the blue screen on the stream. Just while we make sure that everyone who should be in is in. Yeah, the invite was sent, so just give them time just for the Les to join. So I'll give them another couple of minutes just to join. I think a few people changing their liveries there as well. It'd be nice if we can get a whole race of liveries going. So Jack taking the first points. Let's just catch up with some of the comments on YouTube there as well.
Yo. Lads has joined.
So yeah, a couple of comments. One from Scott McFall, so mentioning Arkin was driving there as well.
Right.
So yeah, he might need a. We'll see how it goes in the next race. Obviously, if it's, I mean, we did say a couple of times he was quite late on the braking on that. Even if you're a bit more confident, you do need to be slightly careful in what you do, and you've got to really think about, you know, the guys that are in the lobby with you as well. So Gary George, so Amiga, who we said retired, so hit the last corner and flipped his car upside down, had to retire because he wasn't sure if he was allowed to reset. If anyone's watching the stream and yes, your car flips upside down, the game doesn't auto reset it, so yeah, by all means, if your car is flipped, just use reset to track it in that circumstance. Unfortunately, the game, you'd think, even though it's not hyper realistic, would have an auto sort of lift feature where it puts the car back on the wheels. So just wait and see if the so the Les is in now, so we'll give everyone just another minute, just sort the libraries out, but to be fair, I don't think it really matters.
Nah, not now that director mode is working.
Yeah, nice to see that from the last patch that something that we, you know, was clear that they needed a lot of work doing. It's actually been patched in as well. Remember the days of Project Cars 1, a patch would be done,
Make things worse.
and yeah, something would be fixed, and it would just break another 10 things. So nice work. Slightly mad on this latest patch. A few people complaining about the downshifting on certain cars, that now if you're in the high revs you can't downshift down. Me personally, I don't have a problem with that. That's how I drive anyway. That's probably why you won't see me at the top on a lot of the leaderboards, because I don't really downshift to the advantage that a lot of people have. So me personally, I'm quite happy with the update and the changes that it's made there. I can see what some people are saying, like if they use a stick shift, you should really be allowed to do it on those cars. Kind of agree with that one. I think you should have an option to allow that change, or force it on cars that it should be, and then you have the choice to run it on cars that it isn't there. So yeah, I can see where, I can see both sides of the argument in that respect. So this race, second race of the evening, second race out of 5, it's the Ginetta G40. So it's not the Ginetta Junior from Project Cars 1, that's the GT5 version. This is the actual G40 that the Ginetta Juniors that runs alongside the British touring car season. EDU there, turning it into a lawnmower though. But these cars, I mean, once you get heat in the tyres, these cars are absolutely fantastic. And this track is absolutely brilliant for them. It is a case with these cars, you've really got to, like, trust it. You've literally, I mean, if the back end gets out, it can be a little bastard to actually fight with, but it is a case of don't power down too much, but throw it into the corner. You've got to trust that this car will get round. I mean, they're not that powerful, so you can throw it in a lot more than what you think. But
and they're so light as well that the sort of weight shift when you go onto braking is, as long as you sort of tidy with the accelerator and sort of don't brake too hard, you can really get them through the corner at quite a decent speed.
Yeah.
So they can still be a lot of fun, even though they don't maybe seem as powerful as some of the higher class versions. But you've got to remember that in the real world, for the drivers, the majority of drivers in these, they're just kids, really. You know,
yeah, like 14 years old.
Yeah, it makes you sick.
And I have to say, like, I know there's not a lot looking to the car, but I think this is one of my favourite looking car models on the game. I think they've done an amazing job, whether it's because of the partnership with Ginetta, but I actually think it looks a really nice model that they've put in this game. EDU, I mean, we're saying there these cars are really easy to drive. EDU looks like he might be struggling a little bit with it at the moment. No one's put any times in yet, but obviously this will be the first time that these guys will be putting through now. So, I mean, if you are watching this, is Jack going to get this again? Jack ran really well in the Caterham, so you'd think he'd be running well in these. But, you know, you've got the likes of Scooby, you've got Holtman, who's, you know, well known in the Ginetta Junior Leagues as well. So, Clio Cup Leagues and that kind of thing. So, I think we might see Holtman putting in some decent times on this. But we'll just wait for times to come through. See his confirmation.
It's just his outlap.
So now there's Jack leading the way at the moment, almost a second in front.
Profilby's just taking it back. It's a low 115. Not much in it though.
No, not much in it all. I mean, between first and fourth at the moment, there's hardly anything in it. Slight difference there between fifth. There's fifth now going into the 115s. I think this is going to be an exceptionally close race. So if I do go quiet, I'm just sort of getting my notes ready just to try and make sense of the points as it goes through the evening. So Fubby leading the way, but here's coming up to the end of the second lap. There's Jack now into the 113s.
Quick time and NGR.
So Fraser there. Fraser's taken second. Profubby in third. Gonna Gamble in fourth.
Nice library.
So it has come in as well, based on feedback and from footage seen. Arkiamwa has had 0 points awarded for the last race.
Okay.
And then if he's seen like that again, he will be stripped from the evening, so he will be removed. So he does need to be careful for the following races now as well. It is obviously about having fun, but you know, the only way to really have fun is by racing clean and stuff like that. You know, and that's how Next Gen is built.
Definitely, but I'm sure it was just there. Maybe the Egan's doing well, and it is a difficult car. I'm sure none of it was intentional.
No, it wouldn't. No, it definitely would have been intentional. So there we see Jack in first place. If I do go quiet, I just keep apologising. I am just sort of sorting out the tables just to make note of where people are with points, so we can try and keep up with it as the night progresses and let people know who we are. And then obviously Pidgey, at the moment Pidgey's invited into this evening because he won last season's Race of Winners. So even though he could technically be involved in the races and that, he can't win this evening because he didn't win any of the leagues in the group last season. In fact, I don't think he took part in any of our leagues last season. I think he raced on Assetto Corsa, and this is obviously just Project Cars winners. So you know, we had space in it, so we invited him in to see if he can try and technically retain his crown of Race of Winners champion, but he won't score points. He's just sort of a ghost filler tonight, really.
I'll just be back in a minute, mate, if you wonder where I've got quiet.
No worries. So sticking on with Jack here at the moment there as well. So Arkianwa has actually just taken first spot there as well. So, you know, after race 1, unfortunately not scoring points because of those incidents. He definitely needs a good show tonight there as well. Jack will definitely be pushing hard now as well. So here we see Arkianwa coming down Deer's Leap. So we've got Holtman, who's currently in 3rd. Pidgey is in 4th. So is Jack going to be able to take that top spot back? These two slightly running away from the guys just behind there as well. There's just over 3 seconds between first and last place, so not a massive gap. So Jack will be pushing hard. FRT Holtman will definitely be pushing hard there as well. You know, there is a point to play for here, which doesn't sound a lot, but at the end of the night, every point does help. So Jack has taken back the top spot there as well, almost half a second in front of Arkianwa. And he's got Scooby, who's just behind him here as well. So Scooby, after race 1, will definitely be looking to make some headway in this race, get some decent points on the table.
There we go, sorted. Really close times. Nothing in it from 1st to 6th, really.
No, I mean, I was just saying there, from last place there's only sort of, well, almost 4 seconds now, but not a great deal of time difference between the whole field at the moment.
No.
So we've still got Jack, who is leading the way, but he's actually pitted in. Not quite sure why. I would have probably stayed out.
Maybe feels that that's enough.
But look at the times, and the way qualifying went in race 1, I would say that you've got to be very, very confident of your time for that. Scooby in 4th. Gonna gamble now in 3rd there as well. Pidgey 69 in 5th. So the Holtman pushed down to 6 at the moment. So Arkianwa still in 2nd.
Yeah, I'll get another lap though.
Yeah, so this will be the final lap that these guys can't. So Scooby's pitted in as well. He thinks he's done all he can. 12th spot has just been pushed down to 13th. Someone's just got a place out of the final lap there as well. So will Arkianwa be able to upset Jack? I think Arkianwa will have a point to prove now as well. He'll feel that his first race wasn't his best. So he'll be pushing now hard.
We'll go quicker.
He does it as well. Managed to take. Oh, Jack will be kicking himself.
Wow.
As I said, you've got to be very, very confident you know that you can, that you've got the time to stay out there. I mean, there's not a great deal in it whatsoever, but you know, it's just that if Jack had stayed out, could he have maybe improved on his time just a slight little bit? It's that question now, isn't it? It'll be what if.
Yeah, I think no. I mean, it was great lap from Arkemore, but Jack must have felt, or maybe he just wanted to start getting into the race sort of habit, thinking about the race, or maybe he just needed a toilet. Who knows?
That could be a reason, I suppose. So, don't know what's going on with that Ginetta on the screen there. It's having a fit in the pits.
There we go.
So Arkemore takes his space, well deserved, at the front of the track. So Jack will be head down, focused hard. Not the quickest of starts from these little G40s, but Arkemore does get a good start compared to a few of the others.
Great start.
So got a gamble there. Oh, sideways contact. Not sure who that was.
Oh dear. Well,
yeah, I mean, got a gamble. It was, he was involved in it, but it definitely wasn't his fault. Someone came onto the side of him. It's one of them. Get side by side, and you could pay the price. That is a huge line of Ginetta Juniors all bundled up. And this track is not the widest there, so almost 3 wide there, going up to Knickerbrook. So we've got Scooby, who's got the Les just behind him. Gonna gamble just in front. 2 wide there. That's almost like an army sort of march that's going on just behind him. Very, very organised. So very organised there. Coming down the track. Looks like everyone's... That is so bunched up there.
That's like a bunch of bananas.
I mean, someone goes off here, they're going to lose a hell of a lot of places. So Pro Fubby really trying his best to keep them all at bay. He's got EDU's just behind him. EDU having a much better show in this race than race 1. I mean, what must go through your mind if you're Pro Fubby? You look up in your mirrors and you see those coming towards you. Pro Fubbies. I mean, you're gonna move left. You're gonna have someone coming to the right. You go right. You're gonna have someone coming to the left. I can't really see his mirror very well there as all. We've got an hour on board with the Les.
So we can see the battle from the Les's perspective.
So lightly on the brakes there. So sometimes it's best just to sit back and just follow them, let them bail out in front of you. Hopefully someone makes a mistake and then you can pounce on it. Nicely controlled from the Les there. So Scooby currently running in 4th. Arkemore has managed to pull away a little bit at the front. Got a gamble in that orange and black Ginetta Junior there.
Complete opposite to the last race for Arkemore, really.
Yeah, complete opposite from the last race. Oh, heavy on the brakes from Scooby there as well. Managed to avoid any contact though. Well played by him. Managed to get it stopped just in time. Nice line through this section of the track by Scooby. Just trying to apply as much pressure as we can to Gunnar Gamble. You see Jack just in front there as well. Jack definitely doesn't seem as pacey in this G40 as he did in the Caterham.
Bill, plenty of
Scooby
time left.
trying to find a way through. Yeah, certainly so. Just starting lap 4 of 10 in race 2 of this evening's event. Oh, this is very, very close here now. So we're on board with the Les at the moment. He's got Holtman just in front of him, EDU just behind him. And then just in front of EDU, it will be Pro Fubby. Oh, that is a brave move there from EDU. Not able to find a way through though. See a couple of drivers trying that tonight. I mean, you can get a bit more side-to-side action done in these cars than you can in the Caterham, but you do need to be careful about where you're going to attack and get that side-by-side action going. You don't want to be too forceful with the car. And don't forget, you've got traffic behind you there as well, so if you push too hard and get in a battle, it could open up the door for the guy behind you. I mean, that is exceptionally close there at the moment for these guys. You've got to try and think about attacking and defending at the same time. These guys pushing these little...
Qualifying, everyone's very consistent, so sort of gaps remaining quite equal through this pack here.
Yeah, these guys pushing these G40 cars as hard as they can. It is a car that you can, as we said, can throw around the corners, but it is a car that will get the back end out as well. Side by side here. So EDU has managed to get through there as well. Oh, is that good a gamble? That's that's someone else going off there as well. Oh dear, that's EDU. As unfortunately, I don't know whether his eyes went to what was happening there with the car going off in front. But that was good a gamble. That was good a gamble there. He was actually running up. I think he was running in third. As a mistake.
He's lost a lot of time here. Has he let guys through? I'm not too sure, but he basically let 2 or 3 cars go past, but it cut track.
Maybe he had a slow down penalty. I do know there if you do sort of cut over the curbs just a little bit too much, it will penalise you for it. So could have been a slow down penalty, and unfortunately, with how close the traffic is at this part of the race, you're going to lose 2-3 positions quite easily with any slow down penalty. But penalties much more improved in this game now than they are in the first one. But Pro Fubby is now
just detouring from that. What do you think of the penalty in GT Sport?
It's good. I mean, as we talk about GT Sport now, I had a race before, a guy clipped someone in front and they spun, and for some reason it gave me a 10-second slowdown penalty. I haven't got a clue why, but I dropped from 2nd all the way down to 19th. Not 19th, 14th, sorry. I still don't know why I got that 10-second penalty, but like any game, it's good and bad. From what I've played of it so far, it seems alright, to be fair. But Pro Fubby,
I think it's a bit weird at times too.
Pro Fubby still running well in third at the moment. Slight bit of gap. The real battles are all happening sort of towards the back there. Holtman in fourth. The Les really got someone coming up to him here. Just trying to work out who it is. Oh, it's Scooby there. So Scooby's managed to find his way through. Very nice move there from Scooby.
Very nice.
Coming into Lodge corner there. Managed to just get through the inside, make his way through. Omega having a much better run than this. His car hasn't obviously flipped onto his roof in race 2. So he's running well in 7th, but still not over for him. He's got Fraser just behind him. These two have raced quite a lot against each other, so they'll know each other's sort of driving style. Flames kicking out the exhaust of Omega's car then. So he's got the Les just in front, but Fraser is literally right on his exhaust pipe here.
The battle here looks close, juicy.
Yeah, these two pretty much been going on for the entirety of the race. So lap 7 of 10 at the moment. We're still leading at the moment as well. He's got a 4-second advantage over Jack at the moment, but Scooby has definitely not got a 4-second advantage over the guys just behind him.
No.
There's one. Oh, the Les. I thought the Les was going to go round the outside of him there, to be honest. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 cars just behind him. Gonna gamble will be absolutely gutted with that off that he had before, putting this far back. You know, he's running third at one point, but it just goes to show that's how close this field is at the moment.
I think he's got the exit here.
Yeah, Scooby making that little Ginetta as wide as a Lamborghini, and he's not making it easy for the Les to pass. Oh, that's Amiga going off in the distance there. Avoids the wall though, so gets himself going. You can just see the car bouncing into shot at the back there as well, but managed to stop it from spinning. So well controlled by Amiga. Probably not what you want with a Dicky Tommy sitting in that, bouncing all around, but well played by the Scotsman there.
What do you reckon the dodgy food was?
Oh, that's going to gamble, losing it in the background there as well. Oh, there's contact. Oh, that's a huge smack there. I think that might have been EDU that hit him. Oh, that's unfortunate for him. Oh, that was a real shame there as well. Gonna gamble definitely not had his race here. It started off so good for him, but unfortunately, it's not been the best of things for him. Now there's a red over Amiga's number there. I'm not sure what that is.
Getting that as well.
Whether he's disqualified or I don't think it's disqualified. Maybe he got to slow down. He didn't take it in time. Not really sure. Pro 4B is running a third, and that's FTR Holtman, who's literally just behind there as well. So Holtman's had a nice race here. Could be looking to make a last lap challenge here. Scooby running fifth, but he's got the Les.
Still fighting it out.
Yeah, the Les still just behind him. These two have luckily managed to avoid any of the spinning cars in front of him. Scooby with his lights blaring. Oh, the Les gonna. That is exactly what happened to Gonna Gamble on the last race, but he's not gonna make contact with anyone. And that's. Scooby's probably just took a deep sigh there and thought, right, okay, just get this car to the finish.
One more lap.
And that's what happens. The back wheels just touch the grass, makes it unsettled, can throw the back end out.
Yeah, great race by Arkenwar. He's done really well to sort of prove a point after. I mean, as I say, I didn't want to have to sort of take the points that you'd earned away, but it was just, as they say, too many things that maybe gave you the advantage to get those points. But well done this race for sort of showing what you're made of, mate. Yeah, but it's not over for the Holtman just at the moment. No. He's gaining on Fubby, and all Fubby can do is just really defend. Well, no, Fubby wants to defend, really. I don't think. No, I was looking at it from Holtman's perspective. Yeah, I think Fubby's done enough here to, unless he completely just loses concentration. Holtman thinking about, no, he's not able to get anything out of it. So well done to the Pro Fubby there as well. Nice drive for him from his race one there as well. Well done to Arkinwa, who takes full race points there as well. Jack in second. Fubby in third. Who we got in fourth? Holtman. Scooby. So just wait for the timing board to pop up. There we go. So Fraser was. Ooh, look at them penalties.
And then we've got Amiga.
Massive second.
Where's Amiga? 1 second. Hey, a second can make all the difference. Pidgey was next. Pidgey, then the Les, and Scott. Who was it after that? Martin. EDU, unfortunately, that was not his finest hour in that race. And then Gonna Gamble. So now it's going to be interesting. Next race up is the McGann Touring Car around Oschersleben. Now these are a great car. We would have liked to use Knockhill, but unfortunately it only allows 12.
Donkeys, how can you not get that right?
So let's find it. Renault.
We've gone to McGann, haven't we? Or have we gone the...
So next week on Saturday is round 1 of the L&T Motorsport Touring Car Championship. So myself and James will be racing in that. I may stream the race. I may just record the replay and then put that up onto the channel. So I may live stream it, but I don't normally like live streaming when I'm racing, to be honest, because one, I'm not an alien, but yeah, one, I'm not an alien, but two, sometimes I think just watching someone drive from their car isn't always the most exciting racing. So I might just stream record the replay and stream that. So we'll just give everyone a couple of minutes just to change the livery. It was quite a few cars that they were saying on that one, so just wait for people to do that.
Right.
So Jack is
for a bit
company
of a race or two after this is finished, by the way.
Yeah, I think I might stick on and have a race after this.
What would be your sim of choice?
I don't know. I might put in some practice for a touring car, or I might do a bit of both. Might go on Project Cars 2 and then do a bit of GT Sport.
What's the first track next week then?
First track is, off the top of my head, don't know. I think it's Brands GP.
Ah, right.
I could be wrong.
Do a bit of practice there, like.
It might be the Algarve, actually. So just give everyone another minute or so. And we'll get it started. So Jack currently leading the way at the moment. You want to change your man now? I mean, the Holtman's still running well, as you know. He's doing well in terms of points.
I call Holtman.
You did call Holtman, yeah.
No, I mean, Jack's been very consistent those two races. Whether or not getting any points in the first race is going to be too detrimental to Arkinwall's hopes. We'll see.
I mean, even if he had scored points, I mean, it would have been 8 points that he scored. So
yeah. Well, it could be the difference. But having said that, you know, for Jack, it'll be, if he sort of finishes top 2 or 3 for the next 2 races. It's 4 races overall, isn't it?
5 races.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, he'll be looking to maintain that sort of top 3 podium sort of finish and see if he can sort of make it 2 in a row with the winning the Thrustmaster last week.
There we see the McGann's leaving the pits. Touring car, very welcome car class to have bumped up in Project Cars 2.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to see maybe the Honda Civic touring car. I'm not sure why it was just the rallycross car that we got and not the touring car. It would have been nice to see that one on there. The BMW as well. I've got, you know, good relationship with BMW. It would have been nice to see the 1 Series touring car on there as well.
A bloody new Tocker game.
Everyone wants a Tocker game.
It would sell by the bucket bloody loads, man.
I do think. I mean, I think
if they had other
in this
things,
day,
like
if this day and age, with the amount of
like
with the amount of tracks it travels to, it's quite hard. You're gonna either have to have a World Touring Car game that's got BTCC and WTC in it, or just bring out sort of like DLC expansion for British touring cars, and have the tracks and the cars that are needed and have it within a game as DLC. I don't think there's enough tracks for British touring cars to fill a game. Really, it'll be a bit empty.
Yeah, but if they made it like where the online or even the single player campaign was just that immersive that they could do it, because if they didn't have to focus on how many tracks is it, 7, 8 in total, because you got silver. Vans is used twice.
Yeah.
So in that respect, you'd have to just make it a really, really amazing experience to so I don't see why not.
Yeah, personally, I still think it's more of an expansion more than a full game if you just want BTCC. I think if they brought out maybe like a TOCA touring car game again, and had the World Touring Car, British Touring Car, maybe Super GTs in there as well. Oh, someone getting very sideways there, keeping it going though. Don't know who that is in the yellow and red. See Scott McFall here. Oh, that's someone coming to the end of their time lap. Unfortunately losing it. That is definitely not going to get him onto pole with that. So we'll see the times coming through now. So Scott McFall taking provisional pole at the moment with a 1:12.548. So I'm sure we'll see other times coming in any second now. So we've still got someone in the pits there as well. I think that's EDU. Well, Edu, sorry. It is Edu, not EDU. So Edu, I was actually speaking to you. It's actually me and you were having a conversation on how to pronounce it. It's actually the Spanish version of Edward. So Edu.
So how's it pronounced? Edu.
Edu.
So no longer EDU. Edu.
We'll still call him EDU tonight, I guarantee that to the people watching the stream. So, worryingly, no one else is putting in times at the moment. Whether we've got the director bug happening again, we'll find out. I'm sure we should see other times coming in pretty soon.
Yeah.
We've got the Les there in that awesome looking Momo livery. Or Momo livery, however it's pronounced.
Momo!
Oh, someone else going off exactly the same place, someone else there. So that might catch a couple of drivers out tonight. Need to be careful of that last corner going on the curbs. That's someone else going off there as well. That is definitely going to catch some drivers out tonight. Also, we've got Pro Fubbies now taking the top spot with a 1:10. So I think we'll see times coming in now.
Many times because everyone's just like having a dash in the wall. It's like, don't mind me. Oh, wobbly wibbly.
Yeah, these touring cars, definitely cars that are easy to get the back end out. Lovely camera shot there as the cars scream past. So still only two drivers that are putting times. This again, very short track. This one, it's the last two races where we've got the slightly longer tracks of Fuji Speedway and Bathurst. So we're just warming these guys up very nicely, and then we'll hit them with the two large tracks. Oh, Pro Fubby almost getting sideways there as well. Oh, manages to correct it, but gets into the dirt. And we've got Jack, who's now on pole with a 1:07.
Whoa.
FRT Holtman has got a 1:08. Someone else is just into third is Fraser with a 1:08 as well. So the times are coming in now. People getting heat in the tyres. Oh, you can see Jack there really fighting the car to stop it. Counter steering. Really throwing that car around. Got the power down a bit too early though. Gets onto the grass. So not a lot between Holtman and Jack at the moment. You can hear the exhaust shooting out flames. Just sound a bit like gunfire
now.
though.
That's a good time. Gunfire?
Yeah, just from the exhaust. I don't know. It's sounds. Oh.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
See
Maybe
these
like
cars.
a mini...
Everyone's having to really fight these cars around the corners of this track. I might be revising the touring car calendar and adding this track in actually.
What? Say what? No. I know
So
we're allowed
6 drivers.
to tune, aren't we?
Yes, tuning's allowed and times there as well. So we've now got 7 drivers who've put in times. That's Scooby, who's just moved into 4th. So Fraser, who's still running well, in 3rd. They're really throwing these Megans around the track. I mean, that is the good thing about you choosing these short tracks. It's, you know, it keeps it exciting, but it does it does prove a challenge for the drivers. It does mean that if you do make the littlest mistake, it can sort of it can have the problems where the drivers can just get away. But you know, just means that if they have a mistake, it's easier for them to catch up as well. It's not like Nords or anything like that, where if you have a couple of problems, it can be a bit of a race. You can see there a lot of the cars they're really having to counter steer just to get the cars from back end from coming out.
Scooby's done a flyer.
Wow, so Scooby really fighting now for this provisional pole. Oh, goes into the dirt though, so that's gonna discount this lap. So is Jack going to be able to take back that provisional pole?
Don't think he'll be going to the pits early again in this race.
No, there's still 4 drivers that have to put in a time. I think EDU's choosing just to sit in the pits on this one. Not really too sure why he's not coming out. Maybe he knows how corner 1 is it worth just starting at the back and just fighting your way through. And
I want to live.
Yeah,
I'm alive.
Corner 1 on this track is probably one of the most harmless corners when you're in mid-pack on this game. It's almost like Hockenheim corner 1, really, isn't it? It's you know, quite a long straight, and then it really is such a sharp corner. Oh, Jack almost getting sideways there as well. If this was a drift competition, these guys would all be earning points. But we've still got drivers who have to put in times. Jack really loving this car at the moment, though. I mean, I don't think he's going to be crushing lap times with it, but
we'll see.
Doesn't improve on his lap time. Needs to just, I think, be a bit more controlled around the corners. See him here. Really heavy braking there.
Altman into 2nd. Oh, that's close. Arkenwell's done well again.
So just looking at the comments there as well, so Lee Southall, it would have to be a World Touring Car BTC combined for a decent sized game. He thinks it would sell as well. If people buy Project Cars and GT Sport, they'll definitely buy a touring car game. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I have the mod for Assetto and R-Factor 2 on PC, and even Race 07. I've got like the Super Touring mod. A bit of a blast, but I don't think I'm still, because you can't sort of do the career mode. You can only sort of do either online or just make your own races up.
Just as we're talking there as well, sorry, so FRT Holtman has managed to slip into 2nd place. Jack is going to the pits, so he's took 3rd. So looks like Scooby is going to take provisional pole here. So there's 2 drivers that didn't put a qualifying time in. So Pidgey and EDU. So Scooby with the point there.
Martin, actually.
Oh, was it? Oh,
EDU,
sorry. So NGR Martin. So EDU got 6. Sorry about that, Edu. We'll call it EDU again. So are we going to see race 3 a third different winner? This will be the first time in race of winner history that we've had, I think, 3 different pole positions. So are we going to see 3 different winners? This is almost like a bloody touring car season with different winners every race.
Yeah.
So who's that with the yellow getting a very good start? I think that might have been Jack, who's on the outside. But Scooby just holding his line, he's not going to move. So is everyone going to get through cleanly? Hold your breath, lads, here we go.
Oh,
a little bit of contact, but everyone looked like through cleanly there as well, which is not an easy corner to do that on. Cars come streaming down. This is a proper touring car race at the moment. It's very, very close. So we got Jack trying to find a way past Holtman there as well. Oh, that's contact there as well. Everyone fighting for position there.
Oh, we got an off-hander free in the nudge.
Arcing work. I think Holtman might have used his elbows a bit too much there as well.
Yeah, red card defence in football.
Oh, that's someone using the grass there as well. That's Scott McFall. Want to be careful about cutting the corners too much. This game will penalise you for it. Everyone trying to find their spot, trying to find a way past. There's the 2 Momo livery cars side by side. Jack currently running in 3rd. Holtman and Scooby there. At the front, Scooby. Oh, that's Holtman on 2 wheels. He manages to get it controlled, though. Well, he has lost some time on Scooby from that there, but nice to see on the cameras. There's definitely one thing improved about this game is the physics and able to get on those 2 wheels and get some nice 2-wheel action going. There's Fraser, who's in 4th at the moment. Okay, we're still in 7th. As the cars torpedo down the track, throwing the cars around the corner. Okay, we're trying to find a way past the Pidgey 69. He's got the Les just behind him there as well. Just lightly through the corners. Dabs the brake, get the car controlled. Onto the home straight, and then it's onto lap 3 of 10. Scooby has got Holtman. So Holtman really doing well, because I mean he had that 2-wheel action there as well. Need to be careful of the curbs here. He's shown what it can do to Holtman in that last lap. And we've got Jack still running in 3rd as well. We've got Edu in 4th, but he looks like he's got a time penalty serve at the end of the race.
Yeah. Could be that 2nd.
But I mean, look at how close it is at the moment. Those penalties definitely could affect where you finish. Holtman really applying the pressure onto Scooby at the moment. Scooby will be wanting these points.
Yeah, you got Jack in 3rd. Oh, they go side by side.
Well, Holtman, I think, has found a way through, but took a wide exit of the corner. He's going to have the inside going for corner 1. He's definitely not going to. Oh, very close there to Scooby.
Who's going to be brave? Who's going to be brave on the brakes? Because I couldn't at the same time.
That was well driven by Holtman there as well. Didn't have the best line going into the corner. And Jack is catching up as well, so this could be a freeway battle for first anytime soon. So Scooby just needs to apply that pressure. Counterlock there from Jack as he stops the car from getting the back end out too much. Scooby on the inside of the corner.
close.
Oh, that's Holtman, unfortunately. Touches the grass, lose it. Scooby almost lose it as well. Oh, Holtman will be kicking himself.
Oh,
Jack has now caught up here as well. So this track really catching out a lot of the drivers at the moment. Jack's pushing on well here, though. I think Jack will be happy with second though as well. You know, Jack, if he's thinking about the long game, doesn't need to push too much. Just take it easy. You know, you could probably lose a couple.
Got in this situation in the Thrustmaster composition where he just had to sort of finish, you know, within the top 4 or 5, and in that last race it was comfortable.
Yeah, you can see Jack counter steering there to stop the car. Losing it on that corner. Doesn't need to push too hard. I mean, his biggest rivals are now well down the order from him. Almost getting sideways through the corner there. This is where we've seen a lot of drivers lose it in this section of the track now. Scooby coping well under pressure here as well. He's doing what needs to be done. As they start lap 6 of 10. I think Scooby will take a nice deep breath here. That battle with Holtman. Holtman will be kicking himself after that. Holtman dropped down to 10th, so it just shows how close it is in the field at the moment. You have one mistake, and he's moved up to 8th there as well. So looks like he's.
Well, we know he can fight back, because then he made a couple of errors in the Clios, and that sort of dropped him back, and then 3-4 laps later he was smashing through the order and sort of recovering well.
Yeah, he's definitely one of them that, you know, can handle, you know, does perform under pressure, but with a short track like this and only 10 laps, it can be, you know, it just adds to the challenge, doesn't it, really, you know?
Yeah.
But I think Jack's doing what he needs to do. He's just going for the biggest points that he can, but he doesn't, you know, he doesn't need to do an ass shuttle and push too hard.
That's not worth the risk. He bagged points here, good points, and it will, you know, only extend his lead at the moment. So it's better than. But he's forced the header off Scooby. Takes first.
Yeah, Scooby will be gutted about that. You know, Scooby's run pretty well all race.
Really there, but maybe just mentally he just sort of missed his braking point, and that's it. We'll put the pressure straight back on here.
Yeah, we see Scooby counter steering there as well. So Scooby's now. See, Scooby needs to fight for these points. So now Scooby has to apply the pressure. Thinks about making a move there as well. As no line for it, so slots back in place. Jack will just be like, well, if you want it, mate, you're going to have to fight for this now. Jack doesn't really have to fight for it that much. He just needs to get in the way as much as he can. Oh, I thought Scooby might have done it. Got side by side then. Onto lap 8. So 3 laps to go. Is Scooby gonna... No, Scooby, I thought he was going to think about it there. Thinks better.
Oh.
Car a little bit unstable there through those first 2 corners. So just backs off. And we'll start the attack all over again. So just looking there at the leaderboard. So the Holtman is actually in 9th. So he's not able to... Oh no, FRT. Holtman, sorry, he's in 4th.
Oh, he's done well there, I told you.
Yeah, I think Holtman will be thinking, what if, though? What could have been? Jack has, at the moment, upset the balance. And if you did have money on Jack, I think the bookies will be giving you the cash out option now.
possibly.
So it looks like Scooby might have just eased off a little bit there. Oh, that's
Maybe
two
just
wheels that
waiting for the
Scooby's
deck.
got. He's
Oh,
managed
he's
to keep
okay,
it
though.
going though. But loses a lot of time by doing it.
Battles here looking like it's developing there side by side. Woo.
So that's the Holtman
Just saw three
and
cars
Fraser.
within under half a second of each other, and you've got to see what's going down.
So see these three really almost getting on two wheels there as well. Fraser really having to defend here, but he's got to try and think getting past Holtman as well. You know, we know Holtman is one of those that can handle pressure, probably drives even better when the pressure's on to do so. Just a little tap of the brakes, get the car settled. Try all over again as we now on the final lap of the race, and it looks like Scooby's got a time penalty to serve at the end of the race as well. That could really upset where he is. I mean, he is
Depends.
actually,
I mean, it's 6 seconds. So
yeah, I don't think
a
it's
big penalty.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be anything too severe, is it?
Oh, we got enough there. I think that's
Holtman, and that's allowed Fraser and Arkinwer to go through. So Arkinwer will be wanting. Oh, almost getting sideways there as well, pushing a little bit too hard. But Arkinwer will be wanting those points. He, you know, after that victory in race 2, he'll be thinking that the championship for tonight could be in the win. And he'll want to take that prize by Black Art Graphics, but unfortunately, that's not going to help him. Oh, what's happened there? I'm not sure what happened.
I'll be interested to see. Still in the equation, but right at the end, unlucky. Well done, Jack, again. See if Scooby's been penalised too much. I think he's alright.
So Jack definitely with the win there as well.
I do as well.
So we'll wait for the.
We'll see what's applied.
Wait for the final timing burst to come up just to see what penalties they are going to be given. So we could see a difference in the finishing order. So that's the AI taking over there as the cars drive slowly around the track. Well, that was a touring car race, wasn't it?
Not off. Not off. It was had a bit of everything.
So let's have a look. So
yeah, it's not too physical.
So Scooby got second. But we had the bonus point as well. Fraser, nice third place for Fraser. Holtman, he'd be kicking himself. Holtman, Arkin, nice race. Not sure what happened at the end there. Edu, or Edu, sorry. Pro Fubby. Amiga. Les. Gonna gamble. Scott. Martin. It looks like we had a disconnect of Pidgey. I mean, Pidgey was just racing this just because he was invited in from last season's finale, so he couldn't actually take the win anyway. But Jack is the guy leading the way at the moment. So now we go into our bigger tracks. Alright, let's find the car. I'm looking for Nissan. This is going to be an interesting race. If we thought the back end was getting out on the touring cars, I think we're definitely going to see that in this SMS Skyline. So this is part of the track day B class cars. To be honest, out of its car class, it's pretty overpowered by the other cars. You've got the likes of like the Caterham cars in the other track, like the Caterham track day cars, and it's just too overpowered to have a class race with this in it. But on its own, it's an exceptional car. It's obviously in Japan as well, so we've got Japanese car on a Japanese track. It'd be nice to see some Super GT cars maybe get added to the game at a future date, but we'll see what happens with that. So just give everyone a minute just to maybe choose a livery. So our penultimate race of the evening. I think they've had enough time now to choose the livery. So slightly bigger tracks now. We've raced on Fuji a couple of times. So nice sweeping corners in this, nice long straight. So should be able to see some really good side-by-side battles going on this straight. I mean, it's absolutely huge. Corner 1 is probably the trickiest corner on the track. And it's all leading up to that final battle at Bathurst in the Ford GTE. So, I mean, are you calling Jack on this one, James? I mean, he's got to be feeling pretty confident now, would you say?
Yeah, I think he's the guy to beat in terms of his probably points accumulation so far and his lead over whoever is in the chasing pack, second, third or fourth. So I think he just has to come the top 3-4 in these two races, and that, you know, if he gets a pole or maybe both, that should do it for him, which will be, again, for someone migrating from pad to wheel and, you know, becoming even faster in such a short space of time is really good going, like.
Yeah, it just goes to show you don't need the most expensive wheels. Jack's running on the Thrustmaster T150 and T3PA pedals, so it just goes to show, oh, look at that, the back end getting out these cars. Absolutely awesome to get in a drift. Yeah, you don't need the most expensive setups to, you know, even on a pad you can enjoy the game. That's Fraser who's still in the pits there. Is that Fraser in the pits, or is that just a bad camera shot?
I think it's just could be. It might be. Anyway. Good.
So, need to get some heat in the tyres before you start pushing these cars round. Nice to see the R34 in the game. No, one of the most popular Skyline models. Would it have been nice maybe to see the 22B Subaru there as well? Of like an Evo 7, the 22B, and this car sort of all sort of graded to the same sort of spec. That would have been nice to have, like sort of a Japanese sort of Taurus sort of option going on. So that's the outlap done, so onto the time lapse now. And you will hear me say this is a huge straight. Probably 9 out of the 10 laps on this race. So just watch Arky as the slow down for this first corner. With the elevation change in it as well, it is a corner that is easy to lose the car on. But then the rest of the track, it sort of flows pretty nice. I think this is like one of those tracks that after a couple of laps it's pretty much stuck in your memory of what comes next. It's not the most difficult of tracks to learn. It's a nice wide track as well.
Yeah.
A little bit of screen lag there. So still no times coming in at the moment there. Oh, looks, is that someone's car parts that are in the fence there?
My parts are on the track. Help me.
So just throwing it round up at the ultimate corner. So that's Pidgey, who's put in the first time of 1:52. Is that a 2? Oh no, 2 sec. Oh no, I thought those yellow. I thought those yellow bits were penalties. Then I was like, is that someone with a 2-second penalty? But that's just the gap between them. So Jack has taken first spot. We've got Pro Fubby, who's taken second. Scooby's taken third. Holtman in fourth at the moment. But Jack teaching everyone a lesson and pretty much dominating race of winners at the moment. I like that Project Cars library as well. It looks like Jack's just having some fun now. He doesn't want to have too much fun now. Probably wants to. I think if he can secure pole on this, bag the first spot, it's it's his for the taking.
Yeah, well, I think there'll be too many. His gap should be big enough that he couldn't really not win. So depends who sort of if he does get pole and win the race. Depends who finishes second or third. If they're going to stay within striking distance, because the most they'll be able to get is 22 points in the last race. So if the gap's any bigger, then it's done and dusted.
Yeah, he's got 61 at the moment. There's no one else who's
second.
Just try and work that out. If you just want to chat to people what's going on the screen, and then I will work it out.
There's a car and it's going really, 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 really fast. That's about it. Boom, boom. Anyway, Fraser doing a 48.36 now, so nearly just over half a second. Great time so far. Arkin again, 49.1, so not too far off Jack. 49.2, so Arkin and Holtman really close. And you've got NGR. Scooby, sorry. My mistake. Scooby, that is rapid, lad. Phil's now attempting to do mathematics, so his brain just needs to be put on an ice bucket.
No, it's just obviously quite a lot of people. Yes, I mean you look at sort of like Holtman 44, Scooby 43.
Right, so yeah,
Fraser's on a 41, so yeah, Jack sort of like leading the way at the moment, really.
At the moment, no, he's got a bit of work to do to catch up with the ballistic missile that is Scooby. I mean, Scooby, you know, he may that would be 2 races in a row with a pole and the win if he comes out on top of this one at the moment as things stand. So
well, he didn't get the win in the last one. He came second. Jack got the win, didn't he? So.
Ah, yeah. No, memories gone, useless.
But yeah, ideally, that's what they need. Really, Jack. They need to push Jack down as far as he can. And then really just Holtman, Fraser, or Scooby. So that's Arkin where now who's taken provisional pole. Jack's been pushed down to 5th, so it is playing into the hands of Fraser and Scooby and Holtman at the moment.
Yeah.
So
it could just be strategy from Jack. He knows that he maybe just get a feel for the track and just learning it, knowing that from the race he just stays solid and consistent. He'll have every chance looking at tired turning there.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need to push too hard. I mean, top 5 finish will be okay for him. Just doesn't. He doesn't want to take the risk of, you know, doing an Ashley sort of basically in the last round of the BTCC where he lets people run away too much and it is down to a last race finale. I mean, it'd be good for us if he did do that. So we'll see if he can better his time. He's going to have time for another lap after this as well. As we all say it together as he drives down this huge straight. He doesn't. Oh, does it? Oh, actually, he's just passing the line now. So he doesn't improve, and he's actually been pushed down to 6th.
Fuji, I think, has come back rolling strong there.
So Arkin, we're still in the way. This is the final lap of qualifying now. So whatever you've got in yet, need to put it in now. Pro Fubby's pitted, so he feels like he can't do any more. So we've got Amiga who's in 5th place. So Jack's actually been pushed down to 7th now. This is it's exactly what we said needs to happen for a final finale, but it's not what Jack wants to happen. So I mean, Jack, if he finishes where he is, he'll score 10 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, which isn't bad. It's still double figures. But ideally, you want to be finishing, you know, top 4 really. Top 3 ideally. Obviously, you know, that's where the higher points are.
If he can improve on 7th.
He took a much sharper line on that last corner there as well. I'm not really sure that's the best line to be taking.
We'll see.
He's been pushed down to 8th.
Third.
No, he's gone up to 3rd. Wow, okay. Ignore what I was saying. I know nothing about driving lines. That's someone else has just taken pole there as well. It's Fraser.
Oh.
Okay, what? In the dirt there. AI is absolutely thrashing those tyres. Don't know what's happening there. So, Fraser gets the pole. So, penultimate race.
Really well. Yeah.
That's a gorgeous looking grid. Engine notes roar, and off they go. That's Jack getting a really bad start in the car, though. He's going to lose quite a few places with that.
Yeah, down to fourth.
Down to fourth, so he didn't lose too much, but I feel that he might lose just a couple more. He's really bunched in the middle.
Where did he come from?
So Les getting an awesome start there through the race.
And it was clean as well, no penalties, so well done.
Skyline screen through Bathurst. It's on Fuji Speedway. Les has got an awesome start to the race here. Jack is back into third place, but he's got traffic in front and behind him there as well. This is Jack's championship to lose at the moment. Scooby. Oh, that's Scooby making an awful mess of that there. That's not what you want to see happen.
Even through just that.
Well, it's definitely not a shortcut by any means.
There goes Edgar Martin.
So the lad's still in first place. Quite lucky, really, not to get pushed out by Scooby there as well. Jack's in third. He's got Arkinway just behind him. Scooby just in front. Arkinway's got an amazing run here.
Jack's still got the right line for
this. Yeah,
in right.
Oh, Arkinway much quicker than him down the straight. Oh, what's this? What? Someone is on the straight for some reason.
Got a gamble. Move.
Not sure who that. Not sure what's happened, if that's a disconnect.
Or maybe he's away from the controller and he just hasn't realised.
I don't know. I mean, it went straight into the race. That's going to have to... we'll have to have words with him at the end. That's
he's still
not
thrown
a good...
in the track. This could be an issue coming out at the end of this lap.
I think he's actually froze, because you could hear his engine revving there. I think he's actually froze on the track. Really needs to retire to pits, get that car out the way.
Yeah, we'll just keep an eye on that as they come out the last corner if he's still there. Don't think there's any way we can sort of warn the drivers the foreboding danger.
I mean, there should be yellow flags on the track as they come the straight. I mean, I'll say it again, it's a pretty long straight, so it's plenty of time to correct your lines if you need to.
Yeah, and almost someone take
the Les will be gutted about that, though. That's unfortunately really messed it up for him. I mean, it's only put him down in third. Oh, someone getting very wide there. That's Holtman, who's just behind him.
Jack now up to second. So
now they approach the straight.
Oh dear.
Well, there they go. Everyone taking the left side, taking the right side of the track there as well. Probably no, don't move that way.
No.
Flash the light saying, please get out the way. Not sure what. Oh, there's traffic approaching him. No, move. What are you doing? I'm not sure why drivers are heading towards him.
I don't know. Maybe he thought it was a mirage.
I'm not sure why Gotta Gamble just doesn't retire. Don't know why he's stuck there. We'll find out at the end what's happening. Oh, that's Jack now battling with the Les. The Les has managed to get into second place. Jack's took it back off as well. That's the Holtman. The Les back of his car has absolutely been battered tonight. We had Scooby going into him, then the Holtman. Luckily, damage is off though. So some drivers may have chosen to run ABS, some may be running without it off. Hopman trying to find a way. Yeah, no way past though. The Les not going to make it easy for him. Holtman definitely better on the brakes than the Les there at the moment, though. That's, you know, that's evident in the braking zones.
I think Les is getting good exits though.
Holtman's found a way past him there, just sliced through, but the Les.
Get the better run on the exit.
That's nice driving by the Les there, and here we approach.
Holtman definitely had a good.
The chaotic bit of Gunnar Gamble's car. Everyone just needs to move out the way. No, don't move it too late. What are you doing? Why are people driving into him?
He's gone.
He's now retired to the pits. After... Oh, that's the Jack making a mistake there. Holtman's going to pounce on this. So I think that was the Les that hit him there. I'm not sure why cars stayed on the right. It's one of them. It's like, well, I don't know why Gunnar Gamble stayed there. Maybe it was a complete wheel freeze, and it's maybe it was a complete wheel freeze, button freeze. It just couldn't let him retire. I'm not really too sure. Obviously,
maybe these guys could see him. Maybe on the track he doesn't appear there, and for some reason we can see him now.
Could be an explanation, I suppose.
Someone did flash their lights.
Yeah. But Scooby currently running first. Holtman has got Jack on his tail. Jack's not want to give up too many positions. He'll be happy with third, but he's got cars just behind him, so he can't really give up that much. He can't take it too easy. And we're still only just approaching the halfway mark. He's got Fraser, who's showing good drive through the corners. Dab on the brakes. Just let it glide round the corner. Fraser's got a good exit here. He's got a good drive on him. And the track is now clear. Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't think...
Fraser sluts just in front of him.
Aggressive. Again, you've got Pro Fubby who's having a really good exit there.
Jack's going to hold his line here, but has to take a much sharper line into the corner. Oh, that's Holtman who's made a mistake.
Yeah.
Three wide here. Jack's got them on the left, and then for a second he had him on the right. Still on the left. It's going to lose a couple of places here. Holtman's going to slide through as well.
Oh, he's back.
Jack's going back through.
Tap on the brakes.
Has he got the drive to get through? Past Holtman here. Oh, someone sideways there as well. Holtman has to brake hard. Oh, Jack's very lucky there.
That was Pro Fubby.
That's the right place at the right time for Jack.
Well, sometimes it's your night.
Nothing Holtman, absolutely nothing Holtman could do there. He tried to slow down enough, but he couldn't move out of the way because Jack was covering that line. Holtman's still back in it though as well.
Yeah, they're still battling further down.
Yeah, it looks like this car and track combo suiting Fraser at the moment.
Yeah, he does like these type of cars.
Nice livery that he's got on that car there as well.
Yeah, it's simplistic, but it's kind of like...
It says Japanese racing car to you, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
So he's got a good drive out on Scooby here. I think Scooby might have the drive on him now, though.
I
don't think Fraser's going to give this
as late as possible.
Oh, he slaps back in.
A bit earlier. Wasn't worth the risk, especially such a tight hairpin at the end of such a long straight.
Yeah, sometimes it's worth just braking, brake a little bit earlier, slot in line, get a better line out of the corner. Yeah, he's definitely got the pace where he can cause problems for Scooby. So I think backing out and knowing...
seconds out of Scooby in that lap.
Knowing when...
Jack, he was flying.
Knowing when to attack is part of racing, and Fraser is an experienced racer. And knows when to back off and when to apply the pressure, as he does now.
First.
But Scooby's going to have this line for the corner, but I think
Oh,
Fraser's done it.
Yeah. This faster exit coming out there.
So flash of lights from Fraser there to say nice move. Jack has got Pidgey, he's just behind him. I mean, Pidgey obviously is a bit of a ghost racer, so he's not really any threat to Jack's championship tonight.
He's a ghost.
I mean, Jack's been very lucky tonight. He's avoided some instances where cars have spun, and it's unfortunately like the others around him have been caught up in it. So Jack will be thanking his lucky stars tonight for where he is at the moment. Fraser and Scooby
nice.
side by side there as well. Fraser automatically throws the car right to avoid any contact and incident. These two battling hard. Here we are on board with Fraser now. So who breaks last? Oh, Fraser breaking very early there.
Yeah, I've said that on the last lap. You could just see maybe this technique that slow in, fast out. He's gained a bit of time in the end after losing a bit, so maybe he's just waiting for that one mistake.
See Fraser dabbing the brakes there as well as the lights flash. You can hear Jack's car roaring behind him as well.
Yeah, only half a second, so Jack, let's just see on board. Oh,
he's well in this. This is a three-way battle for first. And Pidgey's in this as well. This is four-way battle for first now.
Racing.
We knew these Skylines were going to give us epic battles. Fraser go very wide there.
Yeah, lost a bit of time there. Be disappointed he was running so well.
And so we've got Scott McFall there who's up with these as well. And we've still got 3 laps to go. Oh, that's Scott McFall going very wide there as well. Holtman's not too far from this battle. We'll take a breath. So we're now entering lap 8 of 10. So Pidgey doing an exceptional drive in that lap there. Put himself into second. Scooby will look in his mirrors and see. Oh no! Jack avoiding all incidents there, but he's going to lose a lot of places. I think Fraser slowed down to let him through there as well. Nice driving by Fraser. And that's the Pidgey. So all that hard work, unfortunately, gone to waste. Scooby again, lucky to avoid losing out too much.
Who we got running behind? Scooby there, same livery.
Could it be a back marker?
It does look that way because the train goes to Holtman for second, so I was just getting a bit confused there.
Yeah, I think it could be a back marker.
Move aside. Oh, you don't want to be getting in the way. Come on.
Yeah, is it a back marker or have we got another... Oh, what's that happening in the background? Someone in a blue car just going absolutely screaming off.
Let's see who we got. Well, that said you're Martin. So... Razor almost getting on the curves a bit too much. 2 laps left.
Scooby going out wide.
Hey, what's Martin doing?
He doesn't really want to be getting in the way of these guys with this racing being as close as it is. Yeah, Scooby's flashing the lights to say.
In that effect, he had an accident with Scooby, didn't he, at the end of the last race?
No, that was Pidgey.
Ah, right. Martin again.
I don't know why he's battling so much with these guys. Probably just wants to slow and let them past.
Yeah,
but this has allowed Holtman to catch up. Holtman really powering down, taking a very wide line there, though probably a bit too much speed through that last corner. Fraser applying the pressure to Jack. These guys know Jack is the biggest target for them at the moment.
Trying to close in on Holtman.
Scooby really flashing the lights to say, look, this is a technical part of the track. What is he doing? Silly. Fraser flashing the lights. He's got no way past. What is Martin doing? Needs to let these guys past. Scooby just can't seem to find. I mean, that is such a technical part of the track. This is not what we want to see in racer winners, back markers. I mean, these guys normally quite good, don't really have to play the back marker role, but they all know that back markers, you know, in a race like this, especially when you can't really achieve anything, it's probably best just to let them out the way.
Well, I think unless he's got a valid reason, either the director mode's glitch and he's further up than what we think, then fair enough. But
I mean, I'm not too sure. I mean, oh, that's Scooby losing out to Holtman there now. I mean, we did see Scooby flash in the light, so I would presume that was to say.
Yeah.
So now we see Scooby and Holtman side by side.
Jack now coming right back.
Oh no, that's Scooby. Oh no, that's Jack pushed out. Holtman making contact, and I think this is all stemmed really. This is all stemmed really from NGR Martin slowing them all down.
Yeah, Jack down to 6th.
That's a shame for him. Maybe I cursed him before where I said Jack's avoided all the incident tonight, but side by side, and fortunately he came off worse for it.
I think Scooby will be raging that, you know, and the others, but in the end, Holtman's kind of benefited the most. I mean, he's driven well, but NGR Martin is not showing the right sort of way of doing things there. If you are running as a back marker, I don't know why he didn't yield, especially on the long straight. He had
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you know, I could maybe the technical section, you know, traffic is one of those things that it's quite hard, and you've got cars behind you. Sometimes you go in a panic mode where you're like, oh, if I go left, am I gonna drive into him? So sometimes, but definitely on the straight, there was no need to sort of like speed off ahead. It's just sort of slow down, let them get past.
Not much in it.
Just do it. So
Fraser 3rd, Pidgey 4th, Les 5th, Jack. Well, so he's going to score decent points. But
Holtman got first, did he?
Let me have a look. Yeah, I'll wait for it to come up. Let me get the timings.
Oh, it's saying Scooby finished first there.
Yeah, it does on me as well. Unless they've swapped places under the AI, which I think doesn't update until.
Yeah, so we'll just wait for the final timing board to come up. So definitely lots to talk about in that race, not for the right reasons, really.
No. There you go. I wonder if Holtman has yielded.
Scooby.
Because he did seem to be slowing down on the final straight. Scooby really closed in, so...
So Can you just read out the names for me? So I've got Scooby, Holtman...
Fraser, Pidgey...
So Fraser, Pidgey...
Les,
yeah.
Yak...
Yeah.
Bubby...
Yeah.
Martin.
We're not going to score Martin in that for basically just for driving standards. So Edu or Edu will score 9. Amiga. And who else is there? It also actually looks like, did they finish from 9th downwards? I've got Edu, no laps. I'm not sure what happened.
Saying no laps. Gonna.
I think they might have retired.
Yeah. Don't know what's happened there.
So just a few questions coming in. So Jack feels that he was impeded there as well, that he was shunted off on the track.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to say from the angles that we've seen. It kind of looked like racing to me. Everyone's sort of going in on lines. I think it was Holtman that connected with him sideways. If that's what I think he's talking about on the last or penultimate lap.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard one to call that. I'd have to review footage and stuff really. We'll see how the final standings are affected at the end. Probably not the best race that I've seen. It was some really good racing at times, and then other times it's I'd have to say I'm a little bit more annoyed than anything with that. So Ford GTE around Bathurst. This is going to be interesting. So just give the guys a couple of minutes just to sort through liveries, and then we'll get the race started. So just checking some messages there. So Holtman actually got... Oh no, that's fine. Yeah. So Holtman, if you are watching the stream, yeah, we got you at second anyway, mate. So I think it was just the final results table is right, but I think the timing, it's the AI sort of thing maybe that was messing it up. So just give it one more minute and then we'll get it started. And this is our final race of the evening. Hopefully it'll be all talking reasons for the right reasons in this one. If any backmarkers are watching the stream, don't fight it out now. Let the faster guys through, whether that's stopping and pulling over. Let's have a good race for the final of the evening. So 10 laps around Bathurst in the Ford GTE. GT, very nice class in the game. The Ford GT, one of the nicest cars in it as well. It's got the likes of the 488, Aston Martin, Chevrolet, and the M6. So the famous Bathurst with the mountain. So all the cars going straight out onto track, get as much of this qualifying time in as possible. So hopefully James won't be too long so we can flip some screens. But at the moment currently watching Fraser. So just getting some heat in the tyres, ascending up to the top of the course. Oh, back end almost getting out on Fraser there as they approach the famous section that is called the mountain. These cars, a lot of downforce, so it is a car well suited to the track. So you just want to feather the brake, don't want to brake too hard, lock it up. Try and hug the walls as much as you can into the hard left and then onto the back straight. Really try and get the power down as early as you can. And this is where if you've got someone just behind you, it's quite hard to defend on this part, because if they get a good run, they can slot past you quite easy. And then brake in, normally down to like second gear, and then power down up to the final corner. Again down to second, and then onto the home straight, and then Fraser starts his first time lap. Oh, struggling to get the car going again there. That's not what you want on your first lap. Obviously much bigger track on this one, so qualifying is all more important. So I'm hoping James is going to be back soon so we can actually flip between and see what's going on elsewhere on the track. So this isn't going to be the best lap for Fraser with that corner one. It might have actually even discounted his lap for going off. So you want to try and get through this as quick as he can. Not looking the most comfortable of laps for him. It can be always one of them as well, where on your out lap you always perform quite well. As soon as the time starts, no, it's okay. As soon as the time starts, that's when the pressure sets in, and you normally find, oh, why can't I do that like I did on the out lap? But that's just one of those things. So still waiting for times to come in at the moment. See traffic just up ahead of him there. So imagine about sort of 5 seconds we might see some times, unless laps have been discounted, of course. There goes Arkin wet. Set the fastest time at the moment as well. We've got Holtman there in second. Gonna Gamble third. Pidgey fourth. So there's the times coming in. Profubi in 6th at the moment. Arkinware, who we've got on screen at the moment, currently running in 1st. They've got Holtman just behind him. Yeah, and this is where that 10 minutes of qualifying, you really notice that it's only 10 minutes. It doesn't give you a lot of time. If you have a, a couple of bad laps, it really does make the difference. We've got a new first placer, Edu, took first there. Arkham were really pushing hard, scraping the walls there.
Interestingly, you get to put a time in. Or is he on an outlap or a hot lap? He's on an outlap. Really got no margin for errors on his next 2 hot laps.
And you can see him there really pushing as he goes down the mountain. And it's finding that balance of pushing enough and pushing too much down here. You don't want to panic and downshift too much because it will just overpower the back tyres. And very easy to lose it on that section of the track. So we've still got Edu in 1st place. Oh, Jack might have took too much there.
That may discount his next lap if it, you know what it's like.
Yeah, if it's too close to the end of the lap, it will discount the next one as well.
That pretty much only gives him 1 lap.
So we'll see if this lap has counted.
204 Arkenwart. No, I don't think it did. So, is this lap going to count?
We shall see. We shall
really
see.
Set up very, very interesting. Depending on where Scooby sort of qualifies and Arkenwar. Arkenwar, how many points? I don't know if you've got the.
So Arkenwar at the moment. Oh, I didn't write down his points for the last race.
Oh, what a shame. Martin in the pits. I don't know where is he.
I don't know if Arkin was scored. There was quite a few that didn't score on the last race.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I remember now.
So he technically can't challenge. Holtman.
Is there anyone who can challenge?
Yeah. So Scooby, let's just work this out for you.
Scooby's 9th at the moment.
So Scooby scored 12 in the first round, 12 in the second, 19 in the third, and 21 last race. So he's got 64 at the moment.
Yeah.
So Jack has got. He scored 22, then 18, and 21, and 11. So he's got 72. Holtman is on, so he scored 18, then 13, then 13, and then 18. So he's got 62. Fraser, 15 in the first, then 11, then 15, and then 15. He's got 56.
I thought he's got 2nd, so.
Yeah, so really, you're looking at Holtman and Scooby.
Yeah.
Are the ones that can challenge. So.
Jack hasn't put a time in that one, so I think this is it for him this lap, or he's starting at the back.
Yeah, he's got to perform on this lap. I mean, we did see him qualifying on.
I suppose in a way with this type of track, 10 laps, I don't think everyone at the front ahead of him is going to make it through. So if he may be looking at it, well, I'll just sort of work my way through from the back. Oh, that's close. I just sort of, if I get top 7, 6, that should maybe be enough to do it, but risky strategy. I'm sure he's not playing it, but if he is, it's either genius or insanity, but we'll find out anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the last race at Fuji that he went from sort of, was it 7th to 3rd on his last qualifying lap.
Yeah.
So we could see a similar thing here as well. but this is going to be his last chance. He's running well at the moment. He's really pushing this for this Ford GTE as much as he can down the mountain. So we've got Amiga who's running in third there as well. He's having a nice run in this.
Yeah, good on this track.
I mean, it's all eyes on Jack. It is Jack's to lose at the moment.
Oulton will be licking his lips off.
I mean, where's the Scooby? Where's Scooby coming at the moment? 7th?
11th.
11th, right, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's his close. He's got eight points. He's got an 8-point lead on Scooby at the moment. So, if he can finish 8 points above Scooby, he's pretty much secure. I mean, he's got 10 points above Oulton, 8 above Scooby. So, Oulton is his biggest threat at the moment.
Almost lost it.
Keeps it though.
Well,
I mean, he just needs to put the time in.
Oh!
He goes up to third, so he does exactly what he did in Fuji, and he's above his biggest rival, and he's just behind. If he can stay where he is behind Oulton, he's secured the win in our season 9 finale, which is brought to us by Black Art Graphics. So another impressive end. He left it right till the last minute there. You can see the crowd on the balcony absolutely going wild, and there on the fence, look at him.
Yeah, they're all on the AI slow down, so everyone's completed their laps.
So just a minute to gather our thoughts. So it really is Jack's to lose, but it is Bathurst, and anything can happen really.
Just going into the garage as we see an impressive array of electrical sockets at the front. The shutter doors, I think one is for open, one is for close, just on the right hand side. I'd sure like to press those buttons.
Yeah. That's a massive flag he's got in the crowd there. Like, I've never been to an event and seen people with flags that big.
Just think of the pole, man. He's holding onto a massive pole. Pole dancers don't even use poles that big.
I mean, if I paid for tickets, like, grandstand seats aren't cheap anyway. If someone was waving a flag, I'd be like, mate, put your flag away. It's huge. Like, anyway, lights go out.
Here we go.
And Oulton gets a good start there as well. Arkin not with the best start. Look at it.
Bobby and Jack having a little battle early on.
Scooby, so where is Jack? Jack is in third at the moment. It's where he needs to be. See a line of GTE cars screaming behind him. So down to third gear through the first corner. Oulton all getting as close to the wall as he can there. Oulton. Jack right on his. Jack's going to try and force Oulton to make mistakes here. He doesn't want to push too hard though, but he can't back off. He needs to stay roughly where he is. Oh, Jack's hitting a wall. That could be very detrimental.
Jack's okay. I think it was Amiga or Fubby behind him, and we've got the same library, so.
I mean, trying to find a way past on this part of the track can be quite difficult. Cars screaming down the mountain. Jack doing what he needs to do at the moment, scraping the wall there. So Jack should be able to get a good toe off him here. Is he going to be able to get the switch done on him though? On board with Jack now. Really hitting the limiter there. Keeps it under nice control. Oh, a little bit of a wobble there. Keeps it nicely controlled though.
Just about.
You see the mirror there. These three really show the others how it's done. I mean, that is pretty much as close as you can get it without touching. So first corner can catch a few drivers out here if you take too much curb.
Yeah, probably turned a bit early there, Jack.
All three of these through though without any concern. And now they just have to do it again. So we can see Amiga in fourth. Really trying to get the most out of these GTEs. Oh, that's Jack hit the wall. Oh. Amiga through. That's Arkin where he's had an instant there. So Holtman in first, Amiga second.
Interesting.
Oh, Amiga will be probably a massive sigh of relief there as he's avoided not one but two cars. So Jack's still in third. So Jack still needs where he needs to be. I mean, Holtman, he'll be slightly relieved about that, but knows that it's still not over. Still needs to keep that concentration going. He'll be playing in Jack's mind now that he's had that little bit of a wobble. Maybe a little bit more pressure is put on him now. Oh, Holtman getting very close to the wall there as well. Gonna gamble, running in fourth, just behind Jack at the moment as well. Lights flaring from Holtman and Amiga. So as we approach this hard braking corner, Jack really applying the pressure to Amiga at the moment. Huge battles going on in the distance there as well.
Yeah. Jack doing alright, he's back up to third as we can see, and you see in the background there, it's all bunched up. So gonna gamble back from his incident sort of filled non-race in the last one.
Yeah, he's running well in fourth. Problem is though, when it is this close, if someone does nick a wall and gets a little bit unstable, it can take you out with them as well.
That's it, if you nick a wall, you're likely to be investigated by the police for theft, as that's probably someone's very nice wall that they've saved up to buy the brick and build. Nicking a wall
Jack
is not a good thing.
Going left and right. Whoa, that's so close then.
Yeah.
Holtman really Oh, is that Jack? Oh, that's Jack getting a little bit messy there as well. Got a gamble.
Finish. He doesn't have to do that.
I mean, they're not that far behind him. He can't really back off too much.
No, but as I say, I think if he finishes top 5 here, he should be okay.
Yeah, depending on where the others finish.
Down an 8. Yeah. Holtman currently.
Yeah, currently in first at the moment.
21 points. Jack again kissing the wall.
I mean, thankfully damage is turned off for these events, so it won't be penalised too much for the wall knocking there. But thankfully, if damage was on, it might be a different story.
Oh yeah, there'll be a few races already, I'd imagine, and in the ones prior.
So Amiga applying nice pressure.
We do appreciate what a sort of great title this is. It's really, I'm really impressed by it, but there's still that sort of variable and unpredictability with the damage, whereas you could smash into something at quite high speed and get away relatively unscathed, and then you'll have minor contact and end up busting your suspension or something like that, which, you know, it can happen in real life, but 9 out of 10 times it doesn't, and sometimes the game does skew the reality a little bit, and that's why we switch it off for this type of event.
Yeah, just let the drivers concentrate on the racing. Oh, that's Amiga there. Back end comes out, clips the wall. And that's going to allow Jack to catch back up. He's got Gunnar Gamble just behind him here as well. Gunnar Gamble right on his tail, really applying the pressure at the moment as they ascend up the track. Just ease off the throttle there, just to let it glide through the corner. Oh, goes into the dirt and sucks him into the wall. Oh, gets nice control out of it though.
Yeah.
He hasn't lost too much. Jack kicking up dirt there, obscuring his view slightly. And then heavy braking down to second gear. And then powers down. Holtman showing what skill he's got. He's pulling away from them at the moment.
Yeah.
But Jack is going to be looking in his mirrors.
How many points did you get for fourth?
For fourth, it is 13 points for fourth. Oh, just slightly overcooking it there as well again. Oh no, he doesn't. It's about to say avoids losing out too much.
Oh, unsafe rejoin.
Oh, I was about to say Scooby's done well to avoid anything, but unfortunately didn't. And Scott McFall is now going to capitalise on this. Absolutely nothing Scooby G could do there, to be honest. Bit of a blind spot that he come through on. Tried to avoid it as much as he could, but unfortunately just hissed in with the front right of his car.
I think Gunnar though should have just been a bit more aware of his surroundings.
I don't think there's anything Gunnar could do. He tried to get the car going as quick as he could, but he was in one of them spots and the traffic was coming up. It is unfortunate.
I don't know if he looked like he was trying to like reverse back, and he was reversing back into the centre of the track, or that was just the momentum off the bounce of the wall. But yeah, not a lot you could do if that was the case.
I mean, we've all been in that situation. In a spin, you try and get your car going as much as you can. Sometimes the decision you make isn't always the best, but he'll be gutted about that. But Jack's still in third.
Yeah, Scooby up to fifth, so not going to do any favours for him, but that would definitely secure the championship, the race of winners award for Jack if he finishes where he does now. He's only got a meagre 2.5 seconds ahead, so he'll still think second place is on.
So nice little season for Jack. So he wins the Thrustmaster competition, and at the moment he's on line to win the race of winners competition as well. So nice little thing you put on your sim racing CV there. So take a little bit of a breather there.
Maximum speed. I think they hit the rev limiter coming out of there with the baseline setup.
Yeah, they do hit the rev limiter on that back straight. It's a huge back straight.
Bit of a battle going on down here.
So Scooby and Scott McFall.
I think I got Scooby's position wrong in qualifying. I was looking at Scott's name as SCO. I thought that was Scooby for some reason. So I think when I said he was down in 11th or something or whatever, I was mistaken.
So just over the halfway mark, entered lap 6 now. And our final race, our GT battle at Bathurst. And Jack's actually moved up to second now. So Amiga's had a little bit of an incident there.
Yeah, definitely, because now you've got Scooby and Scott also closing in. Lost about 4 or 5 seconds on Jack there.
And we can see Jack is actually closing the gap on Holtman there as well. It's about 5 seconds. Oh no, his gap sort of slightly increasing. Holtman does like to get as close to those walls as possible. See, the gap has just dropped below 5 seconds now as well. It's just going back up,
yeah,
so sort of yo-yoing at the moment. Yeah, it's yo-yoing at the moment.
like
I
a
mean,
boomerang.
Jack's got. I don't think boomerang's yo-yo, if I'm honest with you, but.
No, but I mean, it's like coming. It's going back and forth. No, that's more of a yo-yo, isn't it?
So Jack's got a nice sort of 5-second cushion between him and third place as well. So he doesn't really need to do anything else apart from just take his time now and just see him there just into shot at the end.
Theoretically, and do a good blend of tobacco with maybe some North African spice. I don't know. Where does tobacco come from? From where?
The shops. I mean, one thing that can happen is you can be out on your own for a while. You can actually lose concentration doing that as well, because you get sort of
we talked about
relaxed
like that
a little bit too.
thing, didn't we?
Yeah. And where you haven't really got to like push that hard, you can sort of go into a lull. I mean, gap's still sort of 5 seconds between them. Oh, battle's going on there though in the background. Oh! That's Pro Fubby. Scott McFall. I think what happened is the car went unstable, threw him out and just into the side of Pro Fubby there.
I think we had an incident on this track back on Project Cars 1 where I kind of like went into a corner far too fast and then just go inside on into you.
Yeah, I mean it can happen. Obviously, it just the car goes unstable. It sort of counter steer to affect it. Oh, that's
Jack. Who's that? Is that? It was Jack. He's okay. He's got away with it.
He's dropped down to 4th, but that's still going to be okay for him to give him this win. Oh, he'll be
now up to 3rd, so theoretically, no. I mean, Scooby would have to be where Holtman is really, and then another mistake from Jack, and it could get interesting. But
yeah, so Holtman sort of 10 points. Needs 10 points on him really, so to take it to equal points, and then we'd have to have a final shoot off between Jack and Scooby. Jack and Holtman. Scooby making it very difficult for Jack to get past here. Oh, that's Scooby making a mistake. Jack's going to be able to take the place back, so he's back into 3rd. He's still got 2 laps to go. We've seen Jack make a few little mistakes at this track. Could be the pressure getting to him. He'll now be knowing that win is very much in his grasp. Concentration will be sky high.
Well, if he was in autopilot mode, he's snapped out of it now.
Yeah, pressure will be building on him now. He's got 2 screaming Ford GTs right behind him as well. Oh, it's the GTs of Scooby and Pro Fubby. So there's Scooby and Pro Fubby getting side by side as well.
Taking a lick of paint off each other by the looks of things. I mean, it's hard to believe that this track, in certain sections, it narrows, it closes in so much that. And sort of like the blind corners. I mean, I know we only do it in a sim. Imagine going through that in real life at 100.
Oh, that Scooby catching the balls there. Credit to any, especially the Ford V8s and stuff, like throw him down this part of the track and balls of steel. To be fair.
Yeah. Like
and there's
titanium alloy style.
Not too much of a gap now between Jack and 2nd place, which is Amiga.
Yeah, I think though for Jack now he's got to maybe just put catching Amiga out of his mind and just making sure he doesn't make an error. He gets a couple of his right tyres on the grass there. Again, this type of car can become very unstable and unpredictable very, very quickly. You hardly have to sort of make much of an error, but that slight error, you think you can get away with it, get your throttle down, and boom.
Oh, very close. And just as you said that there, very close to the grass, and you could see just how unstable it made the car. So 2 laps to go. Jack just needs to hold on now. Scooby will just be watching him thinking, come on, make a
I
mistake.
think Holtman as well will be looking at seeing, like, right, I know he's third. I would sure love to see that start dropping down.
Will Holtman know he's third, though? He'll know that... Oh! That's Scooby, and I think Pro Fubby again, touching.
Flashing the lights. Oh, look, Holtman's nice and composed. I don't know what happened there, but
it's allowed Scott McFall to get back into the fight as well. Oh, that's Scott McFall touching the wall, scraping the wall there.
And the other one, bang the other elbow for luck there.
Pushing these cars as hard as they can. Yeah, and this is just all playing into Jack's hands really there. These three will battle it out. Allow Jack to concentrate on doing it in front of him. It is such a demanding track of concentration, this. Like you say, parts of it just almost going to a one file size. And it's knowing when to attack and when to keep the pressure on. Slight gap has risen. Oh, I'll say slight gap for only 3 seconds, so just a second has increased between Amiga and Jack. Pro Fubby really trying to find a what.
Altman, he's had an outstanding race.
Yeah, he's not faulted really, has he? He's from start to finish done what needed to be done. Unfortunately, it's not enough though to take the win. And I think after Jack getting, you know, that contact with Jack pushing him off in the first race, in the second to last race at Fuji, he'll be, you know, he might have a few choice words to say to a few people.
Well, we'll see.
It could have been a different story.
Too wide going in here.
Very, very close to each other. Needs to be careful. Pro Fubby's got the line. He's going to take it off Scooby. Scott McFall's going to try it here as well. Oh, what's Scooby doing? Oh, that was very silly by Scooby then. Not sure why. I'm not sure why.
A combination. I don't think he could see that there's. It was just the track squoze him, and I think that wasn't.
I think what some people don't have is they don't have the arrows or the spotter on as well, which you know, it's you need to. Next season, our leagues are running in. Our leagues are running in basically things like that. If you cause an incident like that and you don't have them on, you're going to take full punishment, whether the track fins or not. We've now got the options in the game to prevent things like that. So it's, you know, not the cleanest there from Scott McFall. Will probably be unhappy about that. He's been very unlucky in a lot of the races where he's been sort of, you know, contact has been from people moving over, not realising where he is. Obviously, you know, you're playing on a sim, you're playing at home watching a 2D screen, you don't really have the spatial awareness that you would in a real car. So when things are in the game, like the spotter and the directional arrows, there's Holtman flashing his lights, takes a victory there. So full race points, 22. Amiga.
I wonder if Jack will know he's got this in the bag, that third place finish.
Took a while for him to get a decent race, but Amiga gets second.
Yeah, flash of the lights, he knows.
So Jack gets third place with 15 and does enough to take the title of Race of Winners winner for season 9.
Well done.
It's been a long time coming for Jack, but well deserved.
Yeah.
I think a few people will be slightly gutted it wasn't them. You know, it was hard to call. I just sort of called Jack out after the qualifying of race 1 after he put that time in, but you know, Jack overall has done what he needs to do, so congratulations to him. Arkin finished 7th.
Yeah. Fraser, and then further back. the Les showed a few moments where he was competing towards the front. You know, he's a good driver. I think, unfortunately, just
yeah. I mean, there was that.
it's-
There was the glitch where the car froze on the straight in Fuji. He was,
Yeah.
you know, he was running I think fourth or third, and unfortunately made contact with it, and you know, it's pushed him right down. So
Anyway, I've got a scoop, mate. Our lease zone, but it's been a pleasure watching and enjoying the races there, and obviously commentating again with yourself. Really enjoyed it. So look forward to the next one, mate.
thanks for commentating.
No
So
worries. Catch you again, guys.
So we'll just let this race play out. So Jack has taken the win. Few little moments in that race there where things could have been different, but he managed to take the race. So there's the final standings for the race there. Just make a note of the points. So Holtman, Jack, Amiga, Jack got them. Pro Fubby. And Scooby. Scott. Arkin, Fraser. Gunner. Les. And then Martin. So that is our Race of Winners event finished. Thank you very much all for tuning in. Thank you for watching on YouTube. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe for more weekly videos uploaded for sim racing, not just Project Cars 2, but Assetto Corsa. Try and get some of the videos done for that, and GT Sport will have videos coming for that soon as well. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all soon.